What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in London, England tonight. We are going to be checking out UK gun laws explained. Now, this is going to be hella interesting. Primary side checks one out. They ain't going to waste no more time. Just going to get right into it, folks. We're going to get right into it. Oh, yeah.
Guns are heavily restricted in the UK, but contrary to what many people believe, including many Brits, owning a firearm is not illegal. On average, Britain has 6.5 guns per 100 people, compared to the USA, which has 101 guns per 100 people, according to the Small Arms Survey. Unlike the Americans with the Second Amendment, gun ownership in the UK is a privilege, not a right. Whether or not this is the right approach is not up for debate in this video, but feel free to discuss it at length in the comments section.
Okay.
Firearms control in the UK is among the toughest in the world, and firearms offences continue to make up less than 0.2% of recorded crime. As you would expect with such low gun ownership, gun-related deaths are incredibly rare. According to the Geneva Declaration of Armed Violence and Development, it stands at 1 death per million people per year. The UK population is around about 56 million people, and that only adds up to around 50 to 60 gun homicides annually. The rules around gun ownership can vary depending on where you are in the UK, particularly in Northern Ireland, where due to the Good Friday Agreement the laws are much less restrictive and over 5% of the population own a firearm, though these gun owners are not permitted to transport their weapons to mainland Britain. So who in general can obtain a firearm? To possess or purchase a firearm, an individual in the UK must be assessed as not posing a threat to public safety by the police, who act as the licensing authority. In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm and be able to demonstrate to the licensing authority that they require their firearm for work, sport or leisure on a regular legitimate basis, such as being a member of a target shooting club. The reason the police are the licensing authority is because they possess local information that helps inform their judgment, and discretion over what constitutes a good reason is often left up to chief officers. To own a firearm in the UK, a person must undergo a strict vetting procedure which includes interviews, visits to the person's property, criminal record checks and references from friends. In addition, the applicant's GP may be contacted. Once a firearm licence is issued and paid for, the licensed individual must store their gun securely to avoid access by any unlicensed person. What firearms may be licensed in the UK? Unless declared specially dangerous by the Firearms Dangerous Air Weapons Rules of 1969, low-powered air weapons are generally not licensed in England and Wales. That means that if you purchase one of these, you do not require a licence in order to possess it. It is often said that handguns are outright licensed in the UK. Unless declared specially dangerous by the Firearms Dangerous Air Weapons Rules of 1969, low-powered air weapons are generally not licensed in England and Wales. That means that if you purchase one of these, you do not require a licence in order to possess it. It is often said that handguns are outright banned, which is not strictly true. An individual may own long-barreled revolvers and long-barreled pistols, which are defined with a barrel of at least 30 centimetres in length and that the firearm is at least 60 centimetres long. Long-barreled single-shot firearms of any calibre and semi-automatic pistols of 22 rimfire calibre are permitted with a firearm certificate. Those that do not meet these criteria would be considered a pistol in UK law and are effectively banned, with the exception of muzzle-loading pistols, including muzzle-loading revolvers, which are permitted as long as they meet the criteria set forth in the regulations. All of the pistols are prohibited in Great Britain. Shotguns are legal on a shotgun certificate as long as they can't hold more than 3 shotgun shells, including the one in the chamber, if it's a pump-action or semi-automatic shotgun. However, shotguns with a detachable magazine or larger fixed magazine are still permitted, but you'll have to obtain a Section 1 firearm certificate. Rifles are also permitted. These are defined by UK law as a rifled firearm with a barrel longer than 30 centimetres or 12 inches, and a total length of the rifle must be longer than 60 centimetres or 24 inches, and it must also not fall under the classification of a long barrel revolver or pistol. Rifles are permitted in any caliber size as long as it doesn't meet the definition of self-loading or pump action. Semi-automatic or pump action rifles are only permitted at a 22 rimfire caliber. What might surprise you is that under UK law, it is legal for you to own the following weaponry: with the correct licensing, of course. The M&P 1522, which is based on the AR-15, H&K 416, semi-automatic 22 rimfire caliber MP5, Ruger 1022, Beretta ARX 160, and you can even own an Uzi as long as it's a 22 rimfire caliber. So next time someone says that the UK banned guns, we didn't, but we do strongly restrict and control who can own firearms and what firearms can be owned. And generally speaking, culturally, we don't have the same affinity or interest in firearms as our American cousins. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave up to you. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on the UK's approach to gun laws. I'd love to hear it. Does it shock you? Does it concern you? Let me know. Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and
This is interesting. Some of it is not shocking, but some of it is shocking, and it's in a good way. I worked having a firearm already for a security company, and some of the background checks and those things are very normal for, you know, getting obtaining a firearm for work or whatever leisure purposes or whatnot, for or protecting like land, property, and all those sorts of things. Different countries vary, but some of the firearms are so specific in the UK in terms of the requirements. It's really interesting that they have it down to a T. There's no if, buts, or maybe there. It's very specified. There's no mix up there, and it just shows you, because normally when I hear crime in the UK, like crime in the UK, maybe like street crime, people being mugged and all those kind of things, usually you hear stabbings. I've never really heard shootings per se, in hindsight, as I'm seeing this video. So it was shocking, but it was not shocking because I've never really heard a lot of gun violence in the UK at all, and I've never heard that notion that guns are banned in the UK. I've never heard that, but I don't know, I'm living in the rock, but I've never heard that those assumptions. But I know that there are a lot of stabbings that take place in certain areas in the UK, but that's about it. And the crime aspect, when they show the, like, in terms of gun violence, it's so low, it's ridiculous with that amount of people and that percentage. I mean, it just shows you it's working. It's working, because where I live in my country, it's ridiculous. I mean, the gun crime is ridiculous. It's just wow. I mean, the way that the UK have those laws applied, it is the right way to go, because it doesn't mean it's banned, but you have to meet certain requirements in order for you to attain it. You can't just be some random person just wanting it for actually wanting its sake. There's no purpose behind that. And also, like you said, Britain is not a place where guns are like it's almost like cultural, where people just want to own them. It's not really like that in the UK, as I said, opposed to the US, where it's more common that someone would own a firearm. So this was really interesting, and it just shows you, and I mean, wow, I'm really impressed by the low crime rate, gun related crimes. That is a plus, man. And after this video, I'm going to check out some more information about the UK, because when it comes to gun violence, because UK is not a country, for some reason it was never a country that was on my radar in terms of low gun violence. Although I've never really heard a lot of gun violence in the UK, for some reason they didn't come on the radar when I was thinking about countries. Because not too long ago I did some research about countries and different crime levels and stuff like that. Yes, since I have traveling in mind, I look at those things on a regular basis, and I don't know why I didn't think about UK, but that has changed. Certainly that this video has opened my eye even more. We definitely are going to be checking out some more information about that. He said, decided whether it's a good thing or bad thing. I'm certainly saying it's a good thing, the way that they have it down to a science. Very regulated, heavily regulated. That's the way to go. Yes. If you want to see that long drawn outro that I do, hit me on Dyce Reacts by the Buzzin Reactions. This way, I'm going to be making my exit. Until next time, peace out.